Good morning, YouTube land. How are you guys and gals today? Alright, I am just going to jump right into what I have to share because the past 3 nights, not only was I given dreams and visions, and then I just now woke up from another one. And in the dream, there was this guy, and he kept telling me that he had something to share with me and he wanted me to listen to him, but I was going shopping that day, and so I told him, because he was like a stranger, I said, I'll get back to you on that, well, we can sit down and talk later. I kept brushing him off. Finally, at the end of the day, I opened up my room, and this is in my dream, there were a bunch of flies, like gross flies, like pestilence, everywhere, just on the walls, on the floor, on the furniture, and the stranger showed up at my door, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here, and how did you find out where I lived? And to make it really short, because I have a lot to share with you guys, he said, I am being sent to you because nobody's listening. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm all ears. And that's when I woke up. I didn't even need coffee. I was so amped up. I didn't even need coffee. But I drank coffee because I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out there on YouTube land. Okay, God's all about numbers. God's all about saving lost souls. My goal is to bring the lost to the cross while there is still time. And how many people besides me know time is not on our side? It's not. Okay, so anyways, jeepers. Okay, I still got time. All right, now, I want to talk about a couple days ago. I know this is going to be completely mind-blowing. I saw a bunch of people. Can you see that? Shoot, I'll even stand up. I saw a bunch of people in a line. It was like a prison. Okay, I have IRC there. In prison, it's called the Intake Receive Center or the Intake Release Center. I can't remember. Remember, I did 3 years in prison over 20 years ago for a handgun and drugs. So they gave me 3 years. I should have done 5 years, but since I was in the county jail for like a year and a half, they credited my time, so I only did 3 years. Okay, enough about me. Okay, the last few days, I have, in my spirit, I have been digging, just digging for information to share with you guys. That's why I changed my name from Braveheart to Donna Diggs, because the Spirit said, you need a new name. You gotta dig deeper, Donna. You gotta dig deeper. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna dig. Okay, this is what I found. I saw men being taken away from their wives and their children. I'm going to read from my notes. I hope you guys don't mind. I saw men being taken away from their wives and their children to get a health and a mental evaluation, and also to find out what their religious beliefs were. That was number 1, the assessment. Number 2, they were forced into a shower. Then they were given this uniform to wear. And number 4, they were given their bed number and a location was given. I saw the same thing for women. Women were being taken away from their husbands and their children. They were escorted by guards in groups of 20 to 30, and the mark of the beast was inserted into their skin. It was a tracking device. All the Christians were grouped together, and then they were later divided. this is what came to my spirit, the great falling away. Some Christians are going to be put in these camps for re-education purposes. Hillary Clinton said that. She said adults need to go to a camp. Okay, I am not for the government. I'm not a terrorist, but I'm totally anti-government. I have never voted in my life because I know the system is rigged. Moving right along. Some Christians are going to change their mind, and they are going to be listening to these lies that in the re-education center they're going to tell you that God is make-believe. God is not real. They're going to explain to you that they wrote the Bible, that it's just a scam passed down generation to generation. There's not going to be any currencies. Money is meaningless now. There were two options. One was accept the New World Order and you wouldn't be a terrorist because it's the New World Order. That's the way it is now, hun. Number two was reject the New World Order, be labeled a terrorist, and sudden death by guillotines. That's my category, by the way. In order to live in this world, you were to choose between God and the Bible or the Antichrist, which is including mandatory worship of the Antichrist, and that part is not an option. Yesterday, yesterday or the day before, it doesn't matter. I was looking out the window and this is what I drew because this is what I saw in the clouds. I saw this cloud that looked like this. It had a like a nose, a pointy nose. There was an opening in the eye that looked evil. There was this grin, like this evil smile. Then out of his mouth, I saw other little creature things with eyes. And then at the top, I saw this peaceful looking cloud, and it also looked like they were facing each other. Like it was a big face-off. Christianity will not be tolerated. That's what the cloud formation, this is what came to my spirit. Christianity will not be tolerated. It's going to be viewed offensive, like the Confederate flag, and they took that down. I'm telling you, they are dismantling our country right before our eyes. Okay, I'm not a fearmonger. I'm just trying to get the word out there. The World Wide Web. This is what I saw. I saw the world being dropped into a net. World Wide Web. There's a net underneath it. The world is getting ready to fall into that net. Shoot, there's a game. It's a game. You know, it's that net and the ball, and you, oh shoot, I can't even remember what it's called. Who cares about the game, right? But you know what? The governments are saying, let the games begin. We've got Greece begging for help. You don't think America's going to be right behind? Obama has racked up trillions, bajillions of debt. Because he knows we're not paying that back. Shoot, that's like giving somebody that don't even have a job $10,000 credit card. Okay, we're going shopping, girl. You're gonna go shopping. You're gonna get your, your designer jeans, and you're gonna get your bling bling, and you're gonna get your hair done. We ain't paying that back. That's how America is. Matter of fact, that's how a lot of families live. That's why I call faith book, because you got all these people, you know they can't afford what they got, that they're just flashing it, these little selfies. Me and my Mercedes Benz, me and my little condo. Yeah, you know what? It ain't bought for, and you can't even afford the mortgage. Matter of fact, when I was working at Bank of America, the loan numbers were like 21. They were letters that were long. Oh my gosh, which reminds me. They all started with 666. I knew I was working for the B system. Remember when Bush was like, everybody can refinance. Need money, refinance your home. I was there. I was a loan processor. I know what I'm talking about. Now the number 666, the Bible says it's the number of a man. Okay, I was doing my homework, you guys. If you look at the numbers of a man, look at the top. You see the 666? You see the numbers of a man? That is going to be it. That is going to be it. The computer is going to, like the lottery, like the lottery. You know how the computer, they spit out the number, and then the TV announcer is like, and the winning numbers are, and the numbers just pop out. I don't know if they're balls here where I'm at, but they come out, and yeah, the numbers. Okay, so what it is, 666, that means six sets of numbers. I'm not, okay, like your social security number. You guys, I'm getting down to the computer. All right, I'm going to read this. Oh my gosh, where did okay, the Beast Computer in Belgium. This little article was written in August 10th, 2007, and this is what it said. Wherein entities begin looking at what could happen to their children if this is allowed to continue, wherein entities join together as one voice, wherein the scream that began as a whisper and reverberates into that thunderous trumpet which says enough, wherein this occurs soon enough with enough intensity, and wherein the energy is focused to where it belongs, toward the beast, not toward the left, not toward the right, nor toward the races, nor toward the communist, nor toward the capitalist, but toward the beast, toward the money changer. Wherein this occurs soon, then there is that possibility for entities to have an everlasting freedom never before known upon this plane. Okay, now I did a control copy of the Belgium Beast. Now I was reading the comments on this, and back in 2007, they're like, oh, this reminds us of Revelation 13, all who take the mark of the beast. Now supposedly, this computer system is 3 stories high. It can store everybody's identification, bank accounts, social security numbers, which, by the way, when I went to go get my meds a couple months ago, oh my gosh, am I going to have to go? I was at the counter, and she wanted my name and my birth date, so I gave that to her. Then it came down to giving her my social security number. I lied. I made up a social security number, and then she said, that's not what I have in the computer. I was like, oh, they already had my social security number. She knew I was lying. Okay, get this out to your friends. Say no to the beast. Say no to 666. It's coming. I gotta go. Bye.